my name is Lexi and I have been a Natural Cycles user for 4 entire years now. And today I'm going to show you what a typical cycle looks like for me using the Natural Cycles app, and I will be showing you my graphs and what is happening throughout each phase. So everyone's cycle is a little bit different and unique in its own way, but one thing that we all have in common is that all our cycles start with our period. So the first day you get your period is when your new cycle begins. As you can see here, this is when I got my period. It says cycle day 1, and my period usually lasts about 5 to 6 days, and I always make sure to log this into the app just for future reference and for future prediction. Once my period is completely over and a few days have passed and my predicted ovulation is getting closer, I'm entering red days, which the app always makes so clear. It will give you notification and it will show you the day of that you're now in red days. Red days just means that I either abstain from sex or I use another form of protection, such as condoms. Red days are also known as our fertile window, so these are the days that I could potentially get pregnant, and this is because sperm can live in the body for up to 5 days. As you can see on the graph, I do have a predicted ovulation. This is just based off of previous cycles. It's not 100% certain that I will ovulate on that day, but honestly, 9 times out of 10, I do end up ovulating on that day or a day after, so it's always very, very close. Since my cycle is so regular at this point in my journey, the predicted ovulation is usually pretty spot on. In the graph, my temperature is clearly starting to rise, and the app is then waiting to confirm my ovulation. So usually when your temperature rises, it won't confirm your ovulation right away because it wants to be sure that your temperature continues to stay risen. And then once my ovulation is confirmed, I'm back to green days, back to the joyful green days that we all love. My ovulation ended up being a few days after the predicted ovulation. My temperature will then stay risen for the rest of the cycle until the next one begins. This is kind of an overview of my full cycle. You can see the varies in my temperatures. You can see my period versus leading up to ovulation. You can see my temperature rise after ovulation, which I always think is such a cool thing to see. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight on what it looks like to be using Natural Cycles. Since I've been a user for 4 years now, and I was previously on the pill before becoming a user for 10 entire years, just keep in mind that my cycle is regular at this point because I've had time for my body to heal and get back into its natural rhythm. But I just wanted to state that in the beginning of my Natural Cycles journey, my cycle was actually very irregular because I was on the pill for so long. Everyone's cycle is unique in our own way, and I really appreciate that the Natural Cycles app takes that into consideration. Like, it doesn't matter if your cycle is irregular, you just might have a little bit more red days. I've learned so much about my cycle and my body and myself, honestly, from using Natural Cycles. Forever grateful to have come on this journey. I really appreciate you for tuning in and following along. Hope that this was helpful in some way.